Becky, you sent me an email. You're a fan of the Young Turks, obviously a fan of Bernie Sanders, but I thought it was really powerful. You kind of talked about being from Elkhart County here in Indiana. Elkhart was spotlighted in the 2008 campaign.
Things don't feel like they're getting better for people. And I know they don't feel like that here in Elkhart.
It was at the height of the economic crash, one of the highest unemployments in the country. This right here is your old house.
This is the house that my mom and dad bought when I was 4. We lived in the city, kind of the bad neighborhoods I showed you, and somebody actually got murdered in our old house, so it's probably good we got out of that neighborhood. So we moved here when I was 4, and they lost the house 4 or 5 years ago. We finally had to call it quits and quit trying to save the house and move out. This was a 3-bedroom house. It's on a full basement. That's technically a 2-car garage. I think it was probably like 1,000 square foot house, so it wasn't huge. But I guess I never imagined not bringing my kids here to see Grandma and Grandpa, and I figured it would just always be in our family, and that would be my maiden name is Rao. I figured that would be the Rao house. My dad built a big fort in the backyard. We had a Great Dane and several other dogs that, I can just picture them running around. My mom actually painted the house green. They painted it, it was a very pretty turquoise color. They painted it when the bank took over, and I think they sold this house for like $60,000.
And do your parents ever come back here?
I think they drove by. They would drive by to see what was going on with the house and what changes were being made, but I think out of sight, out of mind, especially for my mom. Some of us offered to try to buy it, but I wasn't in the position to buy a house, and save a house. Mm-hmm. Right after they moved into their apartment, some of the plans came back that they offered to help people, Bank of America and all of them offered. And my mom and dad missed the cutoff by days or weeks. Mm-hmm. It was really sad.
And where did they go if they lost their home?
They moved into a 2-bedroom apartment. I tried to look at it from a positive perspective. You're getting older. They're going to take care of all of the maintenance, all the groundskeeping. You don't have to cut a yard and stuff. But it's not the same. They had their own home for so many years and a large yard and the kids and grandkids over. And then, you live in a little 2-bedroom apartment with neighbors and noise and dealing with a landlord. It was all new for them. Our house was like the spot in the neighborhood because my dad lowered the hoop to where the boys could dunk. Mm-hmm. So you'd have a dozen kids out here every day. Our house was the bus stop. So there's a lot of neighborhood memories for everybody, from this house.
And it's not just your parents. I'm assuming a lot of people have similar stories that were lifetime homeowners and now are living in apartments the size your parents are in, or more of them probably smaller apartments.
Yeah, I think we've heard a lot of the word downsizing, which probably is people's way of saying, we lost our house or we needed something more affordable, so we chose to downsize.
And what's kind of the emotions you feel when you look at your house?
Oh, I feel sad.
Kind of a symbol of times that were a little bit more equitable.
Definitely. Just, I was in my late 20s when they lost the house, so a lot of memories.
Do you feel like the measures that were taken for Elkhart kind of didn't really have this in mind here, keeping people in their homes or putting people back in their homes?
Yeah, I think the bank programs were a joke. I think my mom pored over the applications that the banks put out for people. I think they were mandated to make people, to help people stay in their houses. And I'm pretty sure they missed the cutoff by days or weeks. They had just moved into their apartment when they found out,
Homes like these and, pretty much middle class used to live here. People, maybe one person worked in the family, maybe 2, 1.5 if it was part-time. Do you think this is a thing of the past now in Elkhart?
Yeah, I mean, you can see all the cars driving by, and we used to sit outside and we waved and knew every single person that drove by, and everybody knew us, and we rode our bikes for miles around here. There didn't used to be houses back there. There was a field back there, and everybody played in the field and the forests and stuff, and I think this area is past that. I think you don't know your neighbors, and the sense of community is kind of gone.
What's your response when, you see many times Republicans, but even, uber elite liberal types say, the times are changing, the previous kind of jobs are gone, and, the people that were negatively affected, they need to retrain, they need to get better educated to kind of join the economy of 2016?
I think people have tried their hardest. I think a lot of people that I've heard from who have gotten new degrees or tried to switch their career path, and it's not turning up anything for them. So I'm not sure that people are able to recover or start anew. I don't think they're offering us anything. If they tell us to go find new jobs in a new industry or try something new, I mean, what is it that they want us to try? Because they're offering the same industry over and over here.
Which is the manufacturing, the RVs.
The industry and the trailers, yeah.
And what's the pathway? I mean,
My mom dreams of getting a house soon. Once they're out of bankruptcy, because they had to file bankruptcy. It was Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So once they're out of bankruptcy, my mom dreams of getting a house, even if it's a rental property. My dad wants to build a house or something. But they realize that they're not young. They're not that young, and to take on a new mortgage would maybe not be the wisest.
and what about you? What happened to you?
Recently, it's really interesting.